Hey everybody, welcome back. It is me and Scott joining you for the last game of the day. A little 4 a.m. cast, you know the vibes.
Hey, you know
Hangzhou
it.
Spark. You know, I thought, okay, dude, you moved. I'm like, if that guy dabs on the stream, I'm just like, you moved in a way. I'm like, bro, if you start dabbing right now, I'm gonna go crazy. It's too late. It's too early for that. We got the Hangzhou Spark with Poker Face coming up for the last game of Friday. Yeah, I mean, the Hangzhou Spark's got a 2-2 currently, but I mean, realistically, is this going to be a stomp? Yeah, I mean, the Poker Face have only won one game so far, and it's against one of the other contenders teams, and they seem to be almost pigeonholed into a certain kind of comp, and you can't do that against the Spark.
Yeah, for the Hangzhou Spark, we know how strong they are as a dive team. Just look at these players on this roster. They got Shy Leave in the front line, Guxue on the Winston. This should be a great team, and for us this season, I think as much as they're doing fine, it doesn't feel like they've lived up to the expectations or the hopes that we've had for this team. We've seen that firepower from the front line, but the back line, it feels like they're struggling at times to get that value and really play to that degree. But as you said, Jack, going up against Poker Face in this match, this should be one where the Hangzhou Spark are favored.
Yeah, they should just roll. Like, they should just 3-0. Or at least that's what they're expecting. So, obviously, if Poker Face can kind of upset here, throwing off their balance a little bit, maybe they get a couple of extra points. I mean, they are tied in terms of match score right now with the Charge, Panthera, and O2 Blast. The only thing that's really separating them with a lot of other teams right now is just that map score. But yeah, let's have a look at Poker Face. And, well, like I was saying before, and like we were saying too, maybe they are a little bit more pigeonholed, and well, they've lost one of their better players as well recently in Finale.
Yeah, Finale was their Tracer player. We know how impactful that role is in this meta right now. Finale has left this Poker Face contenders roster and has signed with the Vegas Eternal. Excited to see how that plays out, but it's left the Poker Face squad right here a little short-handed. We have Valentine and Victoria now having to pick up the slack, and this is going to be interesting because in the past, Finale has just been that staple. He would always be in the roster, and then Valentine and Victoria would trade time. If they wanted to play Sombra, they'd play Valentine. If they wanted to play Hangzhou, which they play a lot of, they would play Victoria. But now they kind of have to adjust. Valentine, I expect to move over to the Tracer, but does that mean that Victoria's just going to play Hangzhou everywhere? Like, that's the question that we have to see from Poker Face. And how much does this change how this roster looks in the grand scheme of things? Unfortunately, their first match is against the Hangzhou Spark since this change has happened, and the Spark are no joke in the East.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not looking great for them, man, honestly. Like, you just got to come up and hope you pull out something big here. It's a little head-to-head. It was Winston, Guxue, Winston God versus Muse. And what's interesting, actually, about Poker Face too, a lot of the players have had an Overwatch League experience. I mean, Valentine and Victoria were on Boss Not Rising together, the V brothers, back last year. And so you'd expect them to stand toe-to-toe with people like the Hangzhou Spark, but it's just not really had that same level of success. Fairly decent stats here across the board. Pretty even as it comes down to it, but Guxue dying a whole lot less. Let's go on to our map set for today, though. Ilios, Numbani, Gibraltar, New Queen Street, and Titans Peninsula. We need to get there. But a lot of just dive. A lot of dive. I mean, this is Spark's wheelhouse right here. Like, you're expecting Spark to just slay out there.
Fortunately, I think for Poker Face, though, Numbani and Gibraltar, these could be maps where we could see Victoria go over and play some Widowmaker and some Hangzhou and find value. It's not conventional, and we've seen a lot of teams moving away from playing that Hangzhou. Guangzhou Charge with Jimmy are a prime example of sometimes there's limitations to this pick, but if that's what you're comfortable with, then that's what you should lean into. And especially with such limited practice, I don't see Poker Face trying to adopt this Sombra and trying to go toe-to-toe with the Spark. But starting out here on Ilios, I expect to see both teams playing the dive.
Oh yeah, just jump in, Winston. I mean, maybe a little bit of Echo here too. I've liked seeing the Echo adaptation, honestly. I mean, it's been really funny over the last month, I'd say. And people are like, man, Winston, man. Is anybody gonna nerf this guy? Like, Winston. Why are we seeing so much? Yeah, like, why are we seeing so much Winston, man? Like, I'm getting kind of bored of this meta, yada, yada, yada. And I remember just the times before that, like last year when we had the Queen meta, and everybody was like, bro, Queen, man. Like, get this character off my screen already, you know what I mean? And we were like, please, I want dive, I want dive. And now everybody's kind of a little bit sick of the Sombra dive. It's just kind of funny. It just comes full circle. It's
everything
really
eventually gets boring, and obviously we love Winston dive is probably one of the most popular compositions, but when you see it time and time again,
Echo, man.
Yeah, and the Echo adds a lot, right? In the past, we saw so much Sombra in the spring stage, but now we're moving over to the summer, and especially with this map pool where there's high grounds, there's a lot of opportunities to sort of move around the map. People have been opting for the Echo. For the Hangzhou Spark, they have an interesting setup because usually Shy is the Sombra player, but Leave is the Echo player. So they're actually both trading roles of who's playing the Tracer so that they can enable the other to play the Sombra or the Echo respectively. So that's great. The only issue that they run into when they do this is they don't have the freedom to be able to switch off of the Sombra or the Echo to the other one because they'd have to switch the Tracers as well. So it does pigeonhole them a little bit, but it's not going to be as bad as we're going to see from Pokerface in this series.
Man, it feels like that happens a lot with a lot of teams, especially in North America too, where one player is just very good at this one hero, and then you just can't switch off, and there's just like this weird circle of like, we don't want to switch because that's your best, but like it's also kind of my best too, and it's just, yeah, it's a really odd like little circle there of who you want to play. But we are going to see Pokerface jumping onto the Echo here, Scott. Just a classic Sombra dive there.
Victoria on the Tracer is not what I was expecting, but I guess it makes sense if they want to put Valentine onto this Echo. You can't really play that hit scan and play on the high ground. Not in this meta. Right. You're just going to get run over. While the Spark actually opting not to play the Echo themselves, Shy on that Sombra.
Little rough and simple there. All good. Got hacks. No dive commenced. And just Leave. Trying to pepper Valentine out of the sky currently. And now just focusing attention towards that backline. Backline's got to crumble. Speaking of things crumbling, that's Lengsa going down first. Valentine with the isolation kill with the help from Muse's bubble there. Muse is just going to finish the job on the backline. There we go. Monk's dead. Leave trading pretty well though. Point has been unlocked and no support line, so damage is permanent at this point. Just the Tracer's trading it out, and yeah, no one's going to die just yet, but it will be Victoria backing off. Who's really surprised? It's against Leave of all people.
Shy and Leave doing a great job of just staying in this fight. They traded backlines, but the Hangzhou Spark and Shy and Leave, that powerhouse duo, end up coming up clutch for the Spark. They get the first cap, but they haven't taken it convincingly as things start to settle and we go into the next fight. Simple's coming up to this nano boost, but Shy has charged up an incredibly quick EMP. Is he just going to drop it on Muse?
Yeah,
why not?
Just solo EMP. I mean, you don't really... Oh, good stick. Dude, he's just a freak, bro. How is Leave so good at hitting sticks? Just this is one of the reasons why I was excited to see the Spark this year too. Like, just having Leave on Tracer, it is just game changing. Like, actually game changing. It's been a bit of a disappointment, honestly, with Hangzhou Spark going 2-2 over the last few weeks. But just seeing him on that pick is just crazy. Oh no!
Shy gets away with it. He does get woken up after that sleep. And now Muse is going to follow up with the Primal Rage, but he's losing health quick, and now he's slept himself.
Nice nano boost onto Guxue. Little re-engage here. Leave almost hits the dirtiest one clip of his life on Victoria. Victoria did end up backing our way. Monk does get antied, and a nice duplication from Valentine onto the Ana, so a free nano boost for Muse, although hits the short hop onto Shy, who just hit the recall, and I mean, a rally in response, Scott. There's not really much now that Pokerface can really do. Aiden's dead, and well, Victoria's got a pulse, sure, but that's about it. Oh, well, I say that, Victoria at least langs it on Lengsa, but we're looking at final fight territory already, and Shy, yeah, he's got another EMP.
Yeah, Spark, even though it felt like they were being pushed back by Pokerface and the ultimates being thrown, they held on to the point the entire time. Yeah, Shy with another EMP, followed up by Guxue. Victoria instantly down, Valentine follows, and 91% Jack, they might not even get a proper fight.
Yeah, I mean, both of the DPS are dead. And Simple's down. And, of course, Guxue is juggling the other monkey. Yeah, all right, it's GG. There you go. Round's over, son. Double EMP. I mean, how many dupes did we see there from Valentine? One, I think, and Shy earned 2 EMPs.
Yeah,
and those are the buffed Echo too.
Yeah, Shy's just doing so much damage. Like Valentine, it didn't even feel like he ever got an opportunity to execute on the Echo. He gets one pick at the start, but Shy's just cycling his ultimates so well. And when you have Leave playing Tracer, you said it, Jack, and this is the weakness that I think the Pokerface are going to run into in this series, is that Victoria, he's primarily a hit scan player. He's not known for his Tracer, and then he has the tough job of going up against Leave on the Tracer. Fortunately for them, we head over to Ruins, and this is an opportunity where you can play the hit scan, and you can see Victoria actually rolling out on the Hangzhou. I would have expected more of a Widowmaker or an Ashe like we see from Shy.
Yeah, okay. Little Victoria Hangzhou. We like to see it, but I mean, I feel like Hangzhou just gets a little gets the rough end of the stick here, I think, Scott, honestly. You get to fly down these corridors, which is pretty nice, but against oh my, okay, nice storm arrows. Okay, I take everything back. I said Hangzhou is the best pick in the world.
Just stop talking, Jay.
Take it back. Okay, you want a double kill on the
backline?
backline dead. I take it back. All right, okay, he's the best player in the world. Oh, good.
I was about to agree with you, Jack. I was about to say, like, Hangzhou, especially with how much range that you have to shoot from, it can be difficult to land arrows because it has such a long travel time. You have to preempt so far in advance, but not a problem for Victoria, apparently. And Shy's actually going to switch over to the Sombra instantly. Doesn't want to take the hit scan duel. Just thinking, hey, if we just dive effectively, we don't need to take this 1v1 and sort of gamble against Victoria on the Hangzhou.
I mean, you got another thing you got to think about, that Sonic Arrow too. You're the Sombra. Worth keeping in mind. It's a small tool, but if used effectively, can just stop Shy perma-building EMP. Oh, Valentine. Little engagement there. Onto Monk. Pack onto Victoria. Does receive a pack. All good. Unfortunately, the break's not quite so lucky. The lead ends up going down. Wow, Victoria. He's off to a flying start on the Hangzhou. Although with this engagement with Guxue, with the Primal, yeah, ain't happening, son. Unlucky. 42% for Pokerface, though. He's still pretty happy with that. The only problem is, though, Dragon Strike, very cosmetic in terms of ultimates. Very cosmetic. Like, good luck getting anything done with that compared to EMP.
Especially with look how open this map is. Like, where do you throw a dragon where you're going to catch anyone? You almost need to use it to just sort of open that space up for yourselves, because the chances that you find a kill is so low. But once again, Jack, Shy is 90% to the EMP. He only just switched and he's already up to the EMP.
There's nano engagement. That mega health pack is hacked too. Nice little little bit of forward momentum there from Shy, making sure he takes that one away from the supports of Pokerface. Then you don't really need to do all too much. Nano boost, force them away just a little bit. And, well, it's just EMP now, and that's going to be it. There it is. Here's the EMP, a three-man. Victoria, simple. And, I mean, yeah, there's no chance you survive that one at all. Hangzhou Spark. Yep, they're going to continue holding the point.
And when the Hangzhou Spark are in sync like they are right now, where they're getting the hacks, they're getting the EMPs, and Leave and Guxue are just following up, it's so difficult to play against. They're such mechanically talented players that unless you can make the Spark feel uncomfortable, they're going to execute dives, and your backline is not going to stand a chance. And Pokerface right now, it feels like they're sort of standing around waiting for Victoria to hit a shot or do anything, and that's enabling Spark to go and dive whenever they want to choose.
Valentine tried to open that one, but the pulse one didn't find anything. Leave definitely did, though. His sleeping Muse on the floor. Didn't hit the primal. Maybe didn't have time to do it, Scott. He was asleep, got woken up by the stick. Not sure exactly what happened. Obviously, maybe thinking, hey, we'll just go again. Last fight territory, of course, but Hangzhou Spark going to make him work for it. Double rally, in fact. No EMP, though, available for Shy, sadly.
Yeah. As you can see, the Spark, they're willing to just posture back a little bit. 92%. They don't need to be the ones to do anything. Charge up another EMP. Big nade onto Lengsa with the nano from Muse.
Oh, any heals? No heals from Monk to help Lengsa. Late nano boost onto Guxue, but I mean, Valentine and Muse have already executed on the backline and killed them off, but we've seen this happen before last round, in fact. Guxue might just be able to carry it. He's got Primal, though. There's no shot he's losing this. Watching Primal Muse out of the sky. 99% for the Hangzhou Spark. Shy's coming back with an EMP rather soon, but Muse is actually doing a fair job at juggling it. There's a little bit of a brawl on the point, but Shy just needs the CMP. Valentine, though, with a pulse bomb onto Guxue, but Guxue actually just donks him right at the head with his own pulse.
Guxue got his one on the way out. And now Shy has that EMP. 4v4, this is a pretty good situation for if you're the Spark. You just wait for Guxue to come back in. Shy can drop this EMP. And Pokerface, they have no ultimates. They have to use everything to get this point back. Drop goes the EMP. Is the follow-up with Hero Muse, though?
I don't think it is. I mean, he did get anti too. That's an unbelievable amount of peel for Muse there. He gets away even though he's antied and EMP'd.
Oh, nice
I mean,
stick.
still, good stick by Lee. Still with the Hangzhou Spark being at 99%. Lee finding a pulse bomb like that and a double pack too to heal him almost up to full. It should be good. He goes in for another retouch. Maybe a bit healthier than he thought he was there. He does end up falling, but still, Pokerface in a horrible situation. Monk with a nice double tap onto Valentine, and that should be a map. There you go. Hangzhou Spark 1-0 up in the series.
Looking good. Exactly what we anticipated heading into this series. The dive from the Hangzhou Spark is just superior. Valentine and Victoria, they put up somewhat of a resistance, especially Victoria on that Hanzo in the first round of Ruins, but it's just the coordination and just value that Leave is getting on this Tracer. He's just everywhere, and when he's hitting those pulse bombs onto the backline, how do you really stand up to the Spark?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. Like, we know this was going to be a tough one coming into it, but you really can't underestimate the power of the Spark, man. Like, there's one thing having Guxue playing Winston, but there's another thing having Lee playing the Tracer. We're going to jump to a quick break, though. Pokerface, Hangzhou Spark, and face off in map number 2 just after this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hangzhou Spark versus Poker Face. Spark with a convincing 2-0 on Ilios to start this series off. Scott, I mean, Poker Face, not like they look lost or anything like that. It's just, I mean, the overwhelming presence of the Hangzhou Spark, man. I mean, look at the presence on cameras right now. Like,
yeah, Leave is so present right now.
Their Leave is
he's
extremely
so ready.
I don't think I've ever seen a player cam with so little player in it, but he is still at his PC. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a corner of his head.
It's actually impressive how not a single player has been able to center up their camera. You know,
look at Victoria.
Look at Poker Face. If we were honestly, at least Muse is a professional. He's done this before. Look at him. He's front, center. He's looking forward. Victoria, he's got to tilt it down a little bit. Too. Yeah. But
Poker Face cam quality right now, you know, it's a 4 out of 5.
They're winning the series in terms of camera work. Unfortunately, they're not winning this series of Overwatch because they are down 1-0. But we are moving on to Numbani, a map that I said heading into this series could be better equipped for Poker Face. As you saw some of the pain points of the loss of Finale really rearing their ugly head, having to play the hit scan on Ruins to little avail, seeing Victoria move over to the Tracer against Leave, just hasn't been paying dividends. But Numbani is a map that even teams in the West right now currently are playing Hangzhou, and they're taking that first ledge, really trying to control high ground. So Poker Face, if there was going to be a map in this series that I think they would have an advantage in their own style, this would be it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Numbani is up next. Are we going to go all the way as well? Kind of hope we do. In some small world, maybe they come back. I mean, Victoria looked pretty decent on the Hangzhou. Got a few nice pickoffs here and there, but I mean, Shy's EMP charge rate was just ridiculous over those 2 rounds.
And people have memed Shy since the beginning of time, really not giving him credit on his flexibility of how good he is at not just Sombra like we've seen, but he's played Echo on the pass for the Hangzhou Spark. He can switch over to the Tracer like it looks like we're going to see on this map. Shy, as much as he is a world-class and if not one of the best hit scans in the world, his ability to play these other heroes is such a boon for the Spark because it enables Leave to play the rest of his hero pool as well.
Okay, Trolled with the Lucio amp. He amped before the doors opened, and now there's no speed. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. They were really fast in running to the spawn doors, Jack, and that's what's important.
That's so true, actually. Damn, I'm so glad I covered that extra meter.
This is why I'm here, as the analyst, to really help you, cover in the holes of your game knowledge. We are going to see Poker Face playing Echo and Ashe, so they're going double aggression, it's like high damage, looking to punish. Guxue is going to need to be very careful. There's going to be a lot of damage coming out, especially with the damage boost remaining.
He's taking a fair amount of that. There you go. Nice pick. Switch to that bubble isolating those heals too. Not going to get any of those. Good start. In fact, those sticky bombs doing a fair way of work. And yeah, that's going to be the backline going down if they're not careful. Oh, maybe Muse dies too. He got body blocked for a moment. But first point. Poker Face, all right.
It's so difficult playing the Echo versus an Echo Mercy and an Ashe. Like, if you try and expose or step out a little bit, you can be punished. Same thing with Shy. Shy steps out, Victoria shoots his head off instantly, and this second touch for the final little bit is going to come for naught. As you can see, the Spark trying to disengage. They're going to be careful they don't get staggered even further. Poker Face don't want to let them disengage.
Yeah, a bit of a better point for what the Spark are running right now. A lot more sight lines that can be avoided. But already with the duplicate is Valentine right now compared to Leave 68%. Bob's almost online. Like, they got a lot of ults to run through this second point. There's the dupe. He's going to just leave away for the time being, at least. Earn himself a free primal rage, potentially. Although, with Guxue getting nano there, you're actually getting very little ult charge.
Yeah, just unable to really get anything from that. Traded the nano for the dupe. Valentine eventually runs out. They're able to live just from that pulse from Shy by getting back into spawn. Now Victoria stepping up, throws the Bob on the cart.
Good Bob. Oh no, the Bob. The Bob and Muse just juggling Lengths off the map. My god, what a hold from Poker Face. Really nice response to Lengths' rally there. They needed that to push around that corner, but not to be. Poker Face getting the payload going.
And Poker Face just recognizing they're the ones that don't need to do anything. They just need to live. If they live long enough to get value from the Ashe and the Echo, they will win the fight. And that's why you probably see Shy switching over to the Sombra. I expect Spark to fully switch over to a hardcore dive because they understand they need to get in the face of Poker Face.
Primal Rage. Oh, nice little hack in midair too. And Shy, I don't know where he was, but I know where Victoria is now. It's back in spawn. Focusing beam destroying the shield of the brig too. God, yeah, these dives immaculate from the Hangzhou Spark. I mean, if they can hold Poker Face here, that would be some sort of miracle. I mean, with Duke, you think with Duke, Nano, like EMP coming up, okay, Leave randomly dying, maybe not, actually. I'll take it back.
Yeah, you saying it's going to be difficult. Leave says, hold my beer, and just instantly dies. As we can see, them trying to step up. The problem is the Spark backline is already defensive on the high ground. Like, how do you punish this and get aggressive? Valentine tries to step up, but instantly pressured away. They have forced Monk onto the low ground along with the Duke.
That nade's going to be massive. Yeah, nice nade. Aerial Duke onto the Ana. Sky nade, hit the Ana, and that'll be point B. Easy as you like.
Yeah, Leave giving them a little bit of a way out on that one. Duplication, nano boost duplication for good measure. Throwing that one out. And I really like the Ana duplicate. We've seen some weird hero choices with the duplicate, but Ana just seems to get the most value consistently. Because you can drop that biotic grenade. You saw that nade end up getting a kill for them. Then they have the sleep. And then if you do get the nano boost off, it's huge. So I really like this choice, especially now that tanks, you don't get as much health.
Lying away with an EMP. Everybody's lined up here. Even that health pack too. Nice 3-man. And then Guxue follows up with the dive.
Simple gets to sleep. But Guxue, he's already done the damage. He's got his 2Ps. You can't do anything if you're Poker Face. Just great coordination that we keep hitting on from the Hangzhou Spark. EMP comes out. Shy instantly dies, but it doesn't matter. The damage is done. EMP's out. Nano Guxue, they just can't hold on to that.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Now we see both teams go to a traditional standard style composition. But Victoria on the Ashe, it's going to be difficult for him to find space to shoot.
Guxue's got primal. Oh, you know he's hitting it. Oh no, he forgot to sleep. All good though, potentially. I mean, Leaves there. Just how does he like one clip a break midair? I just do not know. All right, Lengsa also used his rally. So a bit of an issue there for the Hangzhou Spark. Not too many ults, but it's all good because Leaves got a pulse. No one dying now would be perfect for the Hangzhou Spark, although both spawn points are pretty close to each other. Well, Guxue ends up falling even on the Mega Pack there. No help from Lengsa, who went down just a moment ago. So will be Valentine just jostling the point. Is actually going to get it moving.
Yeah, because Guxue dies so late, you can already see Poker Face is pretty much regrouped, so they will get some positioning with this card. And they have the ultimates. Victoria has the Bob, Valentine with a Pulse Bomb. This is going to be one of their best opportunities to close out this third point so far.
Rare miss Pulse Bomb there by Leave. There's the Bob. Can Shy get the hack? No, it doesn't look like he can. So it's going to at least buy some space. Guxue ends up falling because Monk and Lengsa can't peek around that corner in fear of getting shot in the face by Bob. Man, this is a very aggressive EMP. Solo EMP on Muse, who hit Primal and got nanoed. Lengsa survived challenge. Almost impossible. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Flattened it.
And now you can see the Poker Faces, they're just setting up on the point. They have the healing, the sustain, and they have the numbers. If they can just start closing people off the point, because Spark just have to keep touching, and they're going to run out of numbers, and Poker Face going to finish Numbani with 1 minute 47 remaining. Looking a lot more comfortable here on Numbani than they did Ilios.
Felt like it was just Spark kind of fumbling there. Like, why go down that late in those fights? Like, you had a decent fight. You managed to get the rally out of Poker Face. You got a couple of other ults out of Poker Face too, but Guxue dies randomly on the Mega Health Pack. Like, just these small things that the Spark were just kind of lacking on that last defense there. See Aiden, also Valentine even just clearing people up with the Echo. Disgusting amount of damage with the damage boost and the Nano as well.
And this is something that I feel like is really common as the meta has continued to go on, where Sombras are trying to EMP the Winston and sort of blow him up. But there's been an adaptation that's been built on top of that, where it feels like Anas aren't really using their nano to get the Winston in. but using it more of a save. As soon as that EMP goes out, you instantly use the nano, you heal up the Winston, and then he has that damage reduction for whatever damage is about to come. And we saw that happen right there. Shy tries to drop his EMP onto Muse, and then he just gets instantly nanoed, and then all of a sudden that big tool that they needed to help them turn that fight is just mitigated with the nano boost. So maybe you need to start tracking that, or like understanding what your win conditions are. Obviously they were in a difficult position regardless, but just wasn't enough. And now Pokerface looking to be in the driver's seat, and if they can keep enabling Victoria to be able to play this Ashe and just shoot and find value, that's going to be enormous for them.
So annoying playing against the Ashe though. When you're on the offense, like just the dynamites over and over and over again. Even the coach gun too. Quite the annoyance, I will say.
Ashe is very exploitable though.
Yeah, without coach, it's pretty dead.
Yeah, if they can find an effective dive, they can get on top of them. Valentine's getting incredibly low, just getting permanently peppered by Shy.
Yeah, he's getting eaten right now. Actually eaten. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. I mean,
2 ticks.
That's Spark with 2 ticks already. A lot of sticky bombs on Valentine, trying to dual leave in the sky. Does cancel the beam and back off for a moment to get healed. But a nade in the backline. My god, Monk just hit 2-man anti. Simple Victoria dead. No longer a Pokerface able to hold that first point. There it is with the cap. 5.5 minutes going to set.
Yeah, and that's just great play there from Monk. Hits that big biotic grenade, and if you hit that nade and the follow-up is there, you can see just like Guxue, the backline just can't do anything. They can't protect each other, just get zapped down, and that's a quick first cap. And they didn't have to use any ultimates to do it either, Jack. They're coming up on the duplicate, Monk on the nano boost as well, and Pokerface didn't charge up as many ultimates as they would have liked. I really like this aggressive hold from Guxue.
Man, you'd expect to have Bob at this point in the game, but 70%. God. Well, you have got a little bit of space and time. I say that. There's the pulse thrown in. Nano on Shy as well, mind you. Duplication for Valentine. However, a 2-man bio on both the Winstons. And there's the duplication. They have disappeared. Nano boost, a desperation one by the looks of it there. There's now the backline for Pokerface, who are distracted. Couldn't help Valentine and got blown up by the sticky bombs. I mean, Guxue is kind of getting rolled here, but it's going to be able to get out of that small little room. And a big reset with Shy just lurking in the back with the help of Guxue too.
And Cart's moving right now, Jack. Spark, they're getting up to the second point checkpoint. So Pokerface, they're now the ones who are having to aggress, go onto the point. This might isolate Muse. Aiden's rally is keeping them alive from now.
Monk close to getting 3-tap there by the enemy Ana. Just heal Guxue out. A lot of free ult charge, mind you, with that dynamite damage. There's the rally from Lengsa. Bob's going to come in too, join the party. However, IMAX shield deployed. Bob gets flailed away. More or less effective range now as Victoria goes for an unbelievably aggressive angle. Just gets punished for it straight up. And Pokerface with a 4v5 on the point. I mean, it looks almost unlosable now for the Spark unless someone else dies, as Leave does end up getting crunked on the high ground. Just no LOS for heals. I mean, 3.5 minutes. Spark is still looking pretty decent here, but still time they don't want to lose.
Yeah, Leave now is the one who decided to take the unbelievably aggressive angle, tries to get onto that high ground to shoot down and gets punished for it. And that's such a huge hold here for Pokerface, because now they're set up and they can sort of dictate the flow of the game. Muse gets nano, tries to go aggressive to continue those staggers, win the team fight even more. Actually doesn't find anything for it. So that's actually a tool that they no longer have. Oh, wow. Nice stick by Valentine. Didn't have recall to go, so it is a trade, but I think you take that trade any day of the week.
Yeah, definitely if you're Pokerface, unless they can make this dive crazy. Oh, there's the sleep mid-air onto Leap. Oh, return nice. Sleep, return to sender. Oh, Simple got a taste of his own medicine, and that will be the point unlocked. Well, funnily enough, oh, well, goodbye. Goodbye, Guxue. All good. Leap can do it all, man.
Oh, yeah, no one's doubting that. And that was a great stick from Valentine. Spark just decided, well, we'll just full send, and it pays off for them. Now they have 4 minutes remaining to get this third point. Both teams not really showing much resistance on the defensive end. See if Pokerface and Victoria on this Ashe can... He now has longer sightlines. If he can actually start getting some value from this Ashe, now that he has these long sightlines, it could be better on this part of the map. But you can see the way Guxue is playing against it. He recognizes that if we give Victoria space, we're going to lose this. That's their advantage. So he's just always playing up in his face. Now Valentine's punished because of that split that Guxue has created, and then Muse is followed up as well.
Oh my god, yeah. Like you said, Scott, I think you perfectly put it. That split was just too much. The whole time, Pokerface is...
Oh, that's disrespectful.
Okay,
That's just rude.
All right. Pause the game. Pause the game. We're going to have a ruling about that. Wait, pause the game. We're going to have a ruling about that. Switch to Mercy to get the instant res to come back. Wait a second.
Oh,
Wait
okay.
a second. Ginormous brains from Pokerface right now. Nanoboost onto Muse. Jumps to the payload. 3 minutes to go for the Hangzhou Spark as Guxue finds a snipe onto Valentine, of all people. And now Victoria is going to pay the price for just existing on the map against Guxue, Winston, and Primal Rage. And there is the point cap, Scott. 2 minutes and 50 seconds for the Spark.
Guxue is just everywhere right now. He's hitting the back line. He's hitting the front line. He's just forever living and just putting out so much pressure in the Spark. I was like, oh, damn. It seems like Pokerface, they feel like they've got their footing. They should be more comfortable here. But Spark just answer back in a big way. And it honestly goes back into the coordination of both Leave and Guxue. The way that they play, like, in correspondence with the Echo and the Winston, like, they're just punishing anyone who steps up, and Muse is just getting burnt down. Look at that. This is a Primal Rage that dies in, like, 3 seconds, Jack.
Yeah, that is crazy amount of damage. Sticky bombs, lasers, everything was thrown in there. And all right, well, Pokerface on what was quite a nice little time bank that they had, 1 minute and 47 seconds, get bested by the Spark and their 2 minute 50. So Spark will defend first here. Same kind of setup. Just going for the Sombra though. No Echo to start us off with.
This is likely just an adaptation from what happened last time. That last time you saw Leave try and play the Echo, but he couldn't hold up against the Echo Mercy. They're probably anticipating the same thing to come out once again. So let's just start shy on the Sombra, Leave on the Tracer. Even though it might not be perfect for the first point, you have so much time in your time bank that if you're confident in yourself capping first, this is sort of like the safe way of playing. Otherwise, you could get snowballed and lose your ultimates. And the next thing we end up, we're at a 7-6 again, like we saw in Circle Real last weekend.
Yeah, let's not do that again, ever, please.
It was kind of fun.
Oh,
wow.
My die.
You can also do that.
Oh my god. Okay, they get punished for it, but I mean that's so funny because the Mercy just bonked a little head on the side, and it's like, it's okay, guys. I got shift in like 0.1 seconds, and then they insta killed. Well, there's the sleep onto Muse, so he can't insta kill the backline.
Monk did have to stop
so far, Pokerface. Ooh.
Oh. And that's why it matters, right? Monk drops, and then he gets punished by Simple, who ends up coming out, is able to drop the nade and instantly punish it. That's why it's a big deal that Monk, when he drops, forced away by Muse. And now that should be first point capture here for Pokerface, once again getting the first capture without really any resistance.
Yeah. All right, well, forward hold though for the Spark, as long as they don't instantly die. Hello, yes, it is me, Guxue. I've opened a shop in Numbani, selling clothes.
Yeah, Guxue sells clothes now. You know, he's moving on to greener pastures.
Mad drip. He's got a mad drip. Honestly, he kind of does. He's been rocking the jewelry recently. I've been vibing with that, actually.
Yeah, you know, he's got cosplay stuff as well. You know, Guxue honestly does it all.
He is dripped out, just on the daily. It's kind of crazy. Oh, Victoria not to dripped out, unfortunately. Guxue does get away.
How?
20 HP. How does he do it? The backline is, like you said before, was a little bit of a weak spot, but, you know, coming up clutch there. Nice little flank from Monk. Yeah, they ain't expecting that. Yeah, welcome to the Overwatch League, buddy. Welcome to the Overwatch League. Welcome to die.
They realize that, you know, all of a sudden, if we just try and take a long-range fight, they're not going to do it. Just come in through the back door. Don't give the opportunity to the Pokerface at all to take an even fight. And now Muse is having to Primal Rage on the point alone in overtime just to keep it going.
Dude, look at Guxue. Look at... Guxue is refusing to let anybody buy. No ID. You cannot pass.
No problem.
Dude, what the... Like you said... Just going to reiterate what you said last round, Scott. He is everywhere. He is literally everywhere. It's hard to really contain one man. So fierce.
And that's a weakness that happens when you don't play the Sombra. One of the reasons that Winston's are generally held accountable, and we've seen this, you know, for Muse so far in this series, is if you overstep as Winston and you don't have your bubble, if you get hacked, you just take so much damage. But because Pokerface aren't wanting to play the Sombra, it feels like Guxue doesn't have the tools to be punished. So he's just running around playing his life, and he understands his limitations. Like, he lived with 20 health. If he was playing against the Sombra, he wouldn't get away with those types of things. So Guxue playing it to a T against the opposition.
I mean, like him, you know, him, Fearless, literally just the master of Monkey is what they are, just the master of Winston, just being able to play at those, the knife's edge, the bleeding edge of that character, just really evolving and what you can do and how well you can primal rage. Like, I don't know, seeing Winston and like how it's evolved over the years is just crazy, man. Just blows my mind. It's blowing Muse's mind right now. He's wondering how the hell his team got trapped into spawn against one Guxue. But, yeah,
guys, I'm primaling on point. Where are you? guys, where are you?
Team, please. He's like, we're getting primaled in spawn, bro. He's like, just run past it.
Just run past him, forehead.
Just run past the primal raging Guxue.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have Hangzhou Spark only have 2 minutes and 40 seconds. This isn't out of the realm of possibility for Pokerface to be able to hold. If they can win a team fight or two, start getting ultimate cycling, they can be in a good position. What happened last time is they were forced off the high ground quite easily. Once again, Victoria just forced off the high ground, goes down, Valentine follows. Okay, never mind, it was a pipe dream, Jack. I was just trying to sell the audience on something.
No, I like that, Scott. I like that. A little bit of a snake oil salesman live on broadcast. It can happen, trust me. It happened to my aunt's cousin's dog's best friend's
it did happen to my aunt's cousin's dog's best friend.
Hey, it can happen to you too. You can also hold first against the Spark dive.
Okay, let me sell you some more snake oil, Jake.
Alright,
Jack,
go on then.
if they can hold this corner, you know, look at it. They gotta get it around the corner. If Muse can just play here forever, he can hold it for 2 minutes.
Bro,
so now, Pokerface still in with a chance. Still in with a chance,
I hate
Jack.
to break it to you. Look at the box. It's not even around the corner. Bro,
Simple can get up this nano boost. No. They're going to be fine. They're going to get up the nano boost. Simple can get it on. Oh my, they see 9. That's awful.
What did I just say?
No.
They see 9. Yeah, they see 9. Well, anyway, you see Leave grinning there? Like, yeah, okay, buddy. All right, sit down, Pokerface. Sit down. Man, what a round. That Hangzhou Spark. I mean, the map haul is just suited to them, just so well. Like Hangzhou Spark. Just their ability to play Tracer, Echo, and just the Sombra too. I mean, they're in their element right now, for sure.
It's not the map pool or anything. It's the meta. The meta is really good for them right now. Leave can play the Echo. Shy can play the Tracer if he needs to, but also playing an exceptional Sombra who is charging very quickly. And that's the thing that we expect for the Hangzhou Spark. We want the Spark to be this powerhouse. They should be. This is great signs for them.
All right, we're going to jump to a quick break. Map number 3 coming up soon, just after this. Welcome back. Spark versus Pokerface. Yeah, a little C9, little Charlie 9 happened on Numbani there. And yeah, well, can Pokerface come back? I mean, look, they did end up getting 147 on Numbani, but I mean, the Spark are just too good, man. They are too good.
Yeah, the dives are just too clean, too coordinated, and it's really just choking out the Pokerface team right now. Because what's happening is Victoria's trying to play this hit game. They're just not giving them the opportunity. They're flanking. They're in their face. Shy's even just going Sombra and just almost harassing anyone who decides to do anything. And Aiden and Simple are just really struggling to stay alive. And on the other end, we saw some signs of life here from Pokerface on their attack. They were able to finish with a bit of time. But as soon as the Hangzhou Spark realized what they were doing and they were just decided to keep playing the Sombra, didn't really feel like there was much of a matchup.
Yeah, Watchpoint Gibraltar's up next. No silly London Spitfire shenanigans, I assume. So probably just going to be more Winston dive here. And this is definitely, I mean, this is a map where you can get full hold. Very doable.
Yeah.
For Spark. I want to see if they're going to go first. They do end up taking the dub here, so potentially going first.
Yeah, no, I believe Pokerface is going to attack first, so we'll see what they want to pull out. It's a great map for Widowmaker. You can play some of that hit scan. Sombra isn't as effective as you would expect, but as you said, Jack, I don't expect it to get as silly as some of the games we've seen recently. Obviously, you know, London Spitfire playing a lot of Reinhardt. We saw some Barrow. We saw pretty much everything under the sun recently. But in the East, most teams like to keep it with the Winston Tracer top.
Yeah, Winston Tracer. Nothing crazy. Echo, maybe. But I wouldn't mind seeing Shy again on the Sombra. His EMP build rate was a little bit out of this world, honestly. Especially on the first map on Ilios. He was almost lapping Victoria, and that's lapping an Echo who just received a buff like last patch. So worth keeping that in mind. Jumping into game just now. And yeah, there you go. Like you said, Scott, Pokerface are attacking first, so it's going to be Spark on the defense, and Shy's going to run Sombra.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Hangzhou from Pokerface. This is a look. It's their 5th most played hero that they've been playing so far in this summer stage. They've opted not to play the Sombra, not to play the Echo or anything like that. They've preferred to play the Hangzhou, but maybe starting to realize that's not a great long-term strategy. You're sort of gambling. We saw a little bit of value from it on Ruins from Victoria, but once again on Gibraltar, they're actually going to just go Tracer Echo with Victoria on that Tracer.
Oh, Valentine. Wow, his body just launched into space. Actually took one of the rockets from Watchpoint Gibraltar. Boom, straight to the moon.
Straight to the moon.
Yeah.
Love it.
And look, you, the hack doesn't last as long as it used to, but it gives you enough time to at least incinerate.
Yeah, and that's really the scary thing about the hack these days. It's not the lockout of abilities that it once was. It's more the fact that you just take so much damage from this Sombra, and that's why it can be difficult to play the Echo. If you get hacked, you just take so much damage, and if the Tracer and the Sombra are able to put that pressure on, you're just going to fall. And look at Valentine once again under pressure.
Oh, wow. Yeah, leave. Oh, nice tracking. By the way, just about Leaves play. This guy has no fear. Zero fear. It's crazy. No matter how many cooldowns he has left, how many blinks or whatever. Patience of a saint, but yeah, zero fear. It's a little wild. Nice little pulse bomb kill on the floor there. And, well, 2.5 minutes to go now, and Shy's got an EMP, so this is going to be a pretty fast one. Again, comparing Valentine's ult charge right now with the buffed Echo ult rate, it's not looking good for Valentine.
Yeah, Pokerface have pushed the cart under the sort of high ground that you can see the Spark are perched on, but at some point they're going to need to dislodge the Spark from here. The EMP does go out, and Fuse and Valentine just instantly disintegrate.
No shot you. Oh, the recall. Yeah, okay.
Victoria's gonna get hunted.
Victoria.
They're not gonna let him stay. They are gonna let him stay, which is surprising.
Okay, they are gonna let him. All right.
Oh, that's a bad stagger.
Okay. Where'd he go?
Simple, just wanting to keep his positioning on the high ground, and I guess they don't need to care about Victoria at this point if they don't have a front line. Only 2 minutes remaining, Jack. Pokerface have really lost a lot of time just getting picked time after time.
Real rough. I mean, good for them. Shy only has 20% of ult charge, so that's kind of nice.
You see them just trying to get this high ground up. Oh, big nade onto the back line of both Pokerface. Guxue with the follow-up. We've seen this story before, Jack.
I mean, what can be done? What can realistically be done?
And that's just like, yeah, they try and go aggressively. As soon as they do, they get punished for it. Just great play from the Spark. And the worst thing about that is Shy is charging up another EMP. So if they do go too slowly, all of a sudden Shy's going to have another EMP. And if he gets that in time, it might be even the last fight. So Pokerface, they're kind of on the clock with the ultimates that they have. They want to go before Shy can charge this one.
I mean, Valentine switched over to the Sombra. Only with that 20% ult charge. Oh, the hack onto Leaf's good. No, look at that peel.
Good support.
Instantly, Monk hits him with the nade. And Leaf chases him out too. So, yeah. I mean, manual hack.
Dangerous.
Hits the recall just in time. And he's got a double blink to get out there as well. Nice play. And with Muse sleeping on the high ground with the Primal Rage, I mean, rallies are going to start. They're going to start flying. Nice little anti-nade onto the back line this time. It was actually Simple picking up the double anti onto Linksa and Monk. And there you go. That's what opens it up. Could be a touch here, though, with Leave. And even Guxue having Primal Rage, Scott.
Yeah, they did a great job. They did up the tempo. They just full sent the Nano, the Rally, and the Primal, realizing that they would have enough damage. Shy does have the EMP, so they might decide to recontest. Guxue has the Primal Rage as well. They have the tools to stay in this fight, Jack.
Yeah, they do. EMP, Primal, there it is. There's the EMP. They're going to try and execute moves. They do indeed very quickly. Shy does have to be kept with the payload right now, as Linksa does end up falling, so he's not going to be there to anchor. Now you just got to be careful of Leave's pulse. He still is playing goalkeeper, just sending Shy off to do his dirty work potentially. And no, Leave and Guxue are just going to clean house. Although can't quite get back to the mini health back in time as Valentine sends out an EMP. Akiriko Suzu though from Linksa, teleporting through the wall. And now with Aiden just getting caught off guard. And that will be the hold by the looks of it, the Hangzhou Spark. Although saying that they start heal. So they do have Nano coming up in just a moment.
Yeah.
Linksa's alive. He does have Suzu, I would imagine. It's all on use right now. He doesn't have Primal Rage. Oh, there's the stick. A lot of damage being thrown out. Muse does end up going down. Nano onto Linksa. Can he, any kill feeders? Any kill feeders? No, doesn't need it. Doesn't matter. All good. Just to keep him alive. And that will be the full hold for the Spark.
The menacing presence of the Nano Kiriko really holding down the fort there. It was so close to Pokerface able to close that one out. They got the picks right at the right moment. But honestly, that switch from Linksa over to the Kiriko was so clutch. Not only did he get back to the point faster, having that Suzu to clear off the EMP onto Guxue just gave them that extra seconds that really were a big deal. And here was that anti-nade that Guxue followed up with the Nano boost. Just textbook dive.
Textbook dive. Could be over the next couple of minutes. I'm going to be honest with you, Scott. Oh, before the sunrise is too. It's not risen just yet. It's not risen just yet.
Oh yeah, it's coming soon.
It's coming soon, Scott. I'm watching out my window. It's the sunrise is hitting soon. No, I mean the Hangzhou Spark here. I mean, if you're Pokerface, like, how do you deal with what they've got going on? I mean, it just feels like they've got you beat, and there's nothing crazy you can really pull out if you're this team right now. I don't feel. Maybe you jump onto the Hanzo, which was what you were talking about earlier before, Scott. But even the Hanzo here, like, there's some decent angles on the defense, sure. But as soon as they get up in your face, like, good luck.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that these dives from the Spark seem so solid that it's almost ill-advised to go Hanzo. And maybe they've learnt in scrims and just like their lack of success playing the Hanzo. You know, they are 1-3 in this stage, realizing that, hey, maybe we need to conform to a more common style of the meta. They're actually playing Sombra themselves from Valentine off the rip. It's an important first pick. You just got to do that a lot more times. You know, if you do that 10 more times, then you full hold them more. So that's the goal.
That's how that works.
Just facts for you, Jack.
No, thank you. Appreciate that. Ooh, Leapers not getting hacked. Good peel though. See the pack. Full HP almost. And yeah, well, like you mentioned as well, all they need to do is Joshua payload. All they need to do is just get it under the car wash. And they should be all good to go. Anti-nade, not landing on the back line, only on Guxue this time. The Muse is 1 HP. Nice flail. Nice flail by the Brig from Pokerface. Aiden ends up just saving Muse's life by a hair too.
Yeah, and that's important because if Muse goes down, they lose all positioning. They would have lost the high ground and everything that goes with that. So now you can see the Spark trying to push this card a little bit further, but they realize they need to take the high ground. They're stepping up Shy, 80% to an EMP, but Valentine is keeping pace right now. Never mind, he's dead.
No, never mind. He has gone down. Count 3 for the caster curse this match so far.
Yeah, we're doing great so far.
Honestly, yeah, I agree.
So now Shy does have the EMP.
The payload. Nano boost in. Payload's being touched. Guxue, alright, dodges the sleep, and there's the leap. There is a flail to meet his face, but it won't deter him, I'd imagine, because he's got that ultimate in just a moment. But no, a rally from Aiden stuns Guxue, so he can't hit the Primal Rage. 2 minutes to go now, Scott. Both EMPs used. Nano available. No, sorry, Nano's used too. It's only the rally available from Lengsa as a support ult that's coming up rather soon. So on these primals as well. I mean, Muse versus Guxue. I mean, I know I've got my money on that's for sure, but you never know. Muse come up with something big.
Yeah, Muse has shown that he has the ability to get great primal rages if he can get into the right position. And Spark, they don't have great tools. You know, they use the EMP, they use the Nano Boost. They're 2 great tools to get in. Lengths rally is really the major advantage that we're seeing here for the Spark right now.
Did he leave recall in there in the back? Pulse bomb in hand. What they got?
Oh, wow, Valentine pulls again.
Over. I'm assuming to a manual hack potentially just burst damage. There's the rally. As soon as that Primal Rage just pops, and look at Muse's health bar. Once more, just like getting chewed through.
He has to pull back as well.
Pick up.
Victoria's in trouble in this room. He's got to be careful. He might get isolated.
Zero fear. I mean, he's very well isolated right now. Symbol's so low. Another great anti by Monk. This might just be it, Scott. I mean, backline's dead. Victoria's gone. A couple of meters to go. EMP is good for 5, but it doesn't matter. There's the dub. Spark with an easy 3-0 over Poker Face. That didn't really feel competitive at all.
No. And that's what we expect from this Hangzhou Spark roster. This is what we want from them. We want them to be able to come out and just show that they are the better team. They are a dominant force. This roster has been hyped up so much this year, especially going in. It just hasn't really lived up to that expectation so far. But in a dive meta like this, it should be textbook. These guys are so great individually in this role. It's about stringing it together and being able to perform this way against the better teams, because they're expected to win against Poker Face, but now they need to be able to show this level of performance against teams like the Dallas Fuel right now or the Soul Inferno.
Right, yeah. That's it. I mean, that's the test that they're really going to have to face up against. I mean, their next match is against the Shanghai Dragon, so
it's another must-win.
Yeah, another must-win. Just keep moving up there. I mean, we're still in the qualifiers right now, but playoffs is just around the corner. Guxue is going to be our player of the match for this one. After the Primal Rages and what he was able to just, well, dismantle. Quite literally, right? He is the mechanic in this game, just dismantling the car and then refusing it to put it back together again.
Yeah, it's just, as we said, he's everywhere. Even the player of the match, he's just so good at this hero. You know, he almost coined, or he was the one of the few that coined the term Primal Blade because of just how much effectiveness and efficiency that he can get with this ultimate. Like, just every time you see a support player in his sights when he's Primal Raging, you're just like, he's dead. Look at these, how clean these juggles are. No matter what type of defense gets thrown, sleeps, you know, coach guns, all that type of stuff, he always finds that value. And because he didn't have that threat of the Sombra, just absolutely pulls apart Poker Face.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he kept 3 of them in spawn with a Primal Rage. Just another good one too, like leaping from back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Back to the back line.
Yeah, back to the back line. Okay, now I'm going to kill the DPS. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do that, right? It's really tough to play against such good Winston. Not only their leaps and like their engagement Scots, but their ability to put the bubbles in the worst places possible for the team. Like,
yeah.
It is frustrating as a support trying to deal with that.
Yeah, and that's what makes a great Winston player great, is their understanding of when to go aggressive, when they're dropping the bubbles, and sort of like splitting off the rest of the team. But not only that, I do want to give a special shout out in this series to Monk. You know, I feel like we've been very critical of the backline for the Hangzhou Spark, and you know, especially in the bigger games. But Monk was hitting those big nades time and time again. That was really enabling Guxue to get these effective dives. So both Linksa and Monk doing their job again.
Yeah, just super consistent on the nades. The value there is just paramount to their success. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're hitting those nades, especially on maps like Numbani, I mean, you win those first points. Like, it's a tough tough ask for an Ana that's not on high ground to hit those anti-nades on hype. But he still does it. Still manages to do it. Nice little lineups, or like even just hitting it off the back of Guxue as well, which is quite good. I do believe we're having an interview with Guxue in just a moment. We're just setting that one up, so we'll jump into that in a moment. But yeah, what a good round of games we've had today. I mean, especially the Hangzhou Spark, who was sitting at 2-2, I believe, coming into this match. So every point counts right now. So close to the playoffs.
Yeah, and honestly, the question that a lot of us have is like, how is this team going to perform going into the playoffs, right? They had I would say, a pretty disappointing run through the midseason madness when they came up against the West teams. It didn't feel like they lived up to their own potential. Obviously got that one win against the Florida Mayhem in that map 5, but I think a lot of people were hoping they would be more competitive against, some of the better teams in that region. So maybe trying to hunker down and really find a style that works for them. And it's paying off right now, at least in the Eastern region.
Yeah, it's paying off. I mean, how many weeks are we away from the knockouts? I mean, 4, I believe, from the Eastern knockouts. So,
yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you're getting your points now. It's all for the better. And the big thing with the Eastern knockouts too, like, there's still a chance for some of these contenders teams to actually make it as well. So it's worth keeping in mind. Got an ETA about 1 to 2 minutes on the Guxue interview. So yeah, I mean, what do we expect? Let's have a look at tomorrow's game, shall we, Scott? Well, we got the NA games obviously tomorrow, but O2 Blast versus Dreamers, Charge Dallas, and then Infernal Panthera, and then we have Spark Dragons. Any match there stand out to you?
I'm excited to watch more of Dallas play. Obviously, I think Spark, if they play in this way, they should be able to get over the Dragons, and that's what I hope I see from them, because the Spark are notorious for being good one week or like one match of a weekend and then not performing to that same level in the next one. But also Dallas, just had a great win over the Soul Infernal. They seem to be that number 1 seed in the East right now, which is a far cry from where they were in the summer stage, the spring stage. So it's awesome to see Dallas Fuel coming back in form, and that really shakes everything up in the East.
Yeah, which is quite crazy actually. And like just on the Eastern standings from their past few games, like they've only dropped 1 map, so Dallas Fuel really like back on form, it feels like. And with the Soul Infernal, 4-1, still looking really decent. But it's up to the Hangzhou Spark here to really solidify their top 4 placing. They're sitting there with Dynasty right now, and you'd imagine Spark take the win over Dragons, but I mean, we've seen crazier things, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, and Dragons, they look like they're making their own level of resurgence. Obviously, still some problems here and there with the limited practice, but with Fate coming in to replace Fleta, that's such a huge signing for this Dragons roster that can at least perform better in this meta. So in the short term, I think Fate is a huge addition for this Dragon. So you can't discredit them or sort of come in not prepared to see this team perform well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's it's a little bit of a scarier situation, I guess, for some of the contenders teams. Dream is still sitting at 2-3, so not too bad at all. I mean, I don't think we really expected, or maybe some people did, I don't know. Didn't expect them to go to a full 5 maps with Dynasty. A pretty tough ask, but I mean, Prophet was just on a tear that almost entire game, right? So
it's the Dynasty special to go to map
Dreamers
5.
Win that?
With every team under the sun, like, Dynasty or another team, just like the Hangzhou Spark, that are just plagued by inconsistent performance. And it's worth noting, as we go towards the playoffs, Jack, only 3 teams from the East are going to be able to qualify for the end of season playoffs, and seeding matters a lot at this point. So, now that we have Dallas Fuel back in the mix, then we have Soul Infernal, then it's like, well, who's going to be that third team? Is it going to be the Seoul Dynasty? Is it going to be the Hangzhou Spark, Guangzhou Charge? Obviously making some changes, not looking as hot anymore, but there's not many slots up for grabs. So every match matters here in the Eastern region to at least just help that seeding and make it easier for that path to success.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a bit of a weird, like, obviously there's more teams in NA than there are in the Eastern region. So yeah, it can be pretty tough, a bit of a daunting task for you to make it in. But if the Spark continue the way they're doing now, maybe they take a game off Infernal, maybe they take a game off the Fuel, they'll see themselves in the playoffs. Yeah, we're still waiting, unfortunately, on the interview. They just run into a couple of technical difficulties, and we should be getting that to you in just a moment. So yeah, it's gonna be It's going to be a good time. Okay, tell me what match you want to see for the NA region. So tomorrow for NA, or I say tomorrow, it's in 6 hours, which I'll definitely not be awake for. Gladiators, London, and then we have Boston, Valiant, and then actually there's a banger in the NA coming up. Atlanta Reign versus Florida Mayhem to round out the day, Friday in NA. So that's probably the match of the weekend, actually, potentially.
I think Atlanta have shown some weaknesses so far in this stage because we're seeing more echo, we're seeing different looks. As much as they're still able to play this Sombra Tracer, they didn't look as dominant on some of these other maps that we've seen. They lost that map to the Toronto Defiant in Circle Royale. They've been having some close ones. They just lost to the Houston Outlaws. So the question that we have, Florida Mayhem have looked dominant so far in this stage, showing a lot of different looks. So now it's like, can the Florida Mayhem hold a candle to the Atlanta Reign? Because in the past, they haven't been able to.
Right. Interview is ready. No more of us blabbering. Let's hear from the man himself, Mr. Guxue.
조합이 맞을지 두 선수가 트레를 또 메인으로 하는 선수가 아니라서
그렇죠.
Hello, Guxue.
궁금한 광저우 차지.
자, 이어지는 경기 서울 임페리얼과 그리고 판테라가 어려운
Hi,
경기의
Guxue.
경기 예상이 되고요. 그리고
能听到我们吗？
Hello, Guxue.
hello.
Hello, how are
Hi.
you doing? All right, first time that I think we've been able to talk to each other. Obviously, clean 3-0. How are you feeling about that match? Did it go how you expected? Oh.
Yeah,
Hello
hi,
again.
yeah, he can hear us， 能听到您，能听到。然后第一个问题是，就是今天比赛的感想如何呢？整体上。Looks like he's getting some lag during the VMix call. Yeah, maybe wait for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
All good.
今天比赛挺开心的吧？这好像是我们第一次3-0干净利落的带走对面吧？好像是这个夏季赛。
So we are actually very happy after this match, cause if I remember correctly, it is our first time that just 3-0 our opponent really clean during the summer stage.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to ask, are you the best Winston in the game, in the world?
下一个问题就是，你觉得自己是不是世界上最好的温斯顿选手呢？
我觉得我最好的之一吧。我觉得最厉害的温斯顿这个英雄也没有最厉害的说法吧。我觉得每个人都有每个人的玩法，每个人都联盟很多人都挺厉害的。
I think.
不过我觉得有一个最厉害的没上岸在做主播，我也很多是从他那里学的。
I think the best Winston is hardly to say like who is the best Winston, because if you are good, you have different play styles. But definitely, I think I can be one of the best Winstons in this game. So I think there is the best Winston player. Maybe he's someone being a streamer, and he's my friend, and I learned from him a lot.
Okay.
Awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. I like being humble. I think you're one of the best Winstons in the world, Guxue. So I appreciate the humble. But I want to ask you a question about the Eastern region. Dallas Fuel just beat Soul Infernal. Everything's up in the air. Who do you think is the team to beat? Like, who are you most afraid to face in the Eastern region?
好的，那么谢谢上个问题，感觉也是顾选手非常的谦虚。下一个问题是达拉斯蓝道最近感觉势头非常的凶猛，今天也刚刚3-0战胜了首尔烈火队。想问一下，在东部赛区，你觉得现在最有威胁的对手是谁呢？
最有威胁的话，我觉得还是烈火吧。我觉得相对于其他队来说的话，并没有太多威胁。其他队我感觉谁输谁赢都蛮正常不过了，感觉烈火是对我们来说威胁比较大的吧。
I think the most scary team for us is So Inferno, because for other teams we always have some expectations and we know what they're gonna do for them, but it's really hard to be against So Inferno. Yeah, so I think
我是卡了，
they is a team that we would
哎，我这个卡
like
了，
to face the most
很
hardest.
尬，
Yeah.
我最没经验了一些他们那个。
Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much, Guxue. It was great to actually speak to you finally, and good luck in the rest of your games. And yeah, speak to you soon. Speak to you soon. 谢谢。
好的，感谢顾雪选手参加采访，也希望你们接下来比赛一切顺利。
啊，谢谢。
谢谢。
Alright, 谢谢. All right. A little bit of lag there. I do apologize. We are transmitting signals from around the world into our different computer boxes. So yeah,
2020 vibes.
2020 vibes. Absolutely. All right. That is going to be well, soon it's going to be it. I have not received the closing call yet, so I am waiting for the closing call from my internet box on the other side of my screen. So yeah, it was a good day, Scott. It was a good day.
Hey. Yeah, it was a great match. It was good to see Hangzhou Spark back in form. It's exciting to see, Guxue say that he's the most afraid of the Seoul Infernal. Everything's up for grabs in the East, so excited to do some more games this weekend.
It's going to be a good time. Don't forget, North America starts in about 6 hours, so you can tune in for that, or you can tune in for a little bit more APAC. Me and Scott are going to be doing the rest of the weekend alongside Harry and Avril. So apart from that, it's been great, and we'll see you all later, very soon, wherever you are, whatever you want to do. We'll see you later, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.